Hi friends, it's Carly and I'm back again with another review. So this is something completely different than I've done before. Maybe not completely, but it's a totally new franchise for me. And I've really been interested in getting to know more about it because the fandom is expansive and really positive. And I've talked to you guys a lot about how much I love Star Wars, for instance. One of my most favorite things in the entire universe, and literally one of the most negative groups of people. Not all, I don't want to lump everybody together, but for the most part, if you're engaging in the Star Wars fandom, there's just so much negativity there. And I hope that you guys recognize that while I engage in constructive criticism, and I think that it's really important to assess and evaluate the things that you're interested in, I try to do that in a positive way. And I think there is a positive space within which we can all be critical without being super negative and awful. And this particular fandom has so much positivity, so much enthusiasm. It's so enduring, and it's something that I was the right age for, maybe a little bit old, but it just completely missed me. And now as an adult, getting involved in the toy community so much and seeing this group of people being just so excited, enthusiastic, and positive, I've really taken on a lot more interest in the Power Rangers. So now at this late stage of life, I've been watching Power Rangers because they're all available on Netflix right now. If you're not watching them, or if you haven't, there are so many series, but Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the first series that I know of in English, the first American series, is available on Netflix, and I've been watching them and getting into it, and I still have so much to learn. But the villains, y'all, I get so into these villains. They're so much fun, and there's something about MMPR that just has this heart and soul that I really love. So I've said a whole lot just to let you know I'm going to do my very first ever Power Rangers review here, and it is a villain character, and I want you guys to be brutally honest and let me know what you think of it. If you're interested in seeing more, I'm still watching the series. I still have a lot to learn. But this fandom has really drawn me in with their positivity and their actual genuine love for the series, the franchise, and all of its offshoots, all of its original series, and I think it could be a really good place for me. So let me know what you think, and I'm going to get right into this review. Today we are going to talk about King Sphinx. So the reason that I picked up this figure, I think, should be pretty obvious. Let's try to get all of him in his glory here. This is a spectacular looking figure, and I don't really care if you know about Power Rangers or not. If you're into toys and you see this figure, this is something that I think that anybody would be drawn to and interested in owning. That's at least what happened to me. So at the stage that I'm at, really, Tommy is the Power Ranger that I care about. So I have a few Green Rangers. I have a couple of White Rangers. I have a Pink Ranger. Yellow Ranger is pretty cool. It grows. You know how these things happen. But right now, the villains, building a putty army is like so attractive to me, but the villains and the monsters in this series are so fun from a collector's perspective that's where I'm drawn to. So King Sphinx was one that I absolutely had to have. And as you guys know, I had to do my research, so I found out that King Sphinx was created by Finster for Rita Repulsa. The idea was that he would be able to take out the Red Ranger. So his goal, his purpose was solely to take out Jason, thinking that the Rangers wouldn't be able to continue on without their leader. So Finster got a handful of Egyptian sand, threw it into the monster machine, and out came our King Sphinx here. His abilities are to use his wings, which we will take a look at in our articulate portion of the video, to literally swipe people away. So he is able to flap his wings, and the Pink Ranger is whisked away from the location of the fight back to the community center. So he can whisk people away, and then he shoots fiery question marks with his staff here. And it has this really cool, like, fiery effect to it as well. So we're going to go ahead and remove this staff. We've seen accessories and effects like this before, but we'll kind of like break it down. So it's 2 pieces. We saw this with the Lightning series. We've seen it on, you know, every brand sort of does this, like sort of a sleeve that fits over that gives us this effect of fire. It's really cool. Separately, it looks great. I think you could use this with a lot of different figures. And the staff itself, the question mark staff, reads really well and is a sturdy, nice looking accessory. King Sphinx also comes with an alternate set of hands. So he's got a fist hand here. He's got sort of a, just sort of like growly sort of, I don't know, casting type hand, I guess. And then I've got his staff holding hand here and just an open sort of clawed hand. So those are the accessories he comes with. I want to show you guys the packaging on this one because it's really, really, really good looking. So it is a Lightning, this is the Lightning series. For those of you who don't know, the Power Rangers Lightning series is by Hasbro. That is the series they're working on right now. They're releasing, you know, at the rate, essentially, maybe a little bit less. They're making theirs a little bit more exclusive than Marvel Legends. So yeah, I would actually say quite a bit less, but they're mixing releases, series, all of the different iterations of the Power Rangers into these phenomenal series that are what, you know, normally I talk about Marvel Legends, what we're used to collecting, but again, if I'm looking at the quality of the figures that I've been collecting this year, I'm going to have to put it at Classified series, Lightning series, Marvel Legends. We're going to get into that in a lot more depth in a second, but look at this glorious packaging. So we see the Lightning Bolt, Lightning series. We have this beautiful imagery of King Sphinx himself. On the back, we have a stunning image of the figure posed just really dynamically with all of his accessories on display. And another, this is all foil. And I hope you guys can see the holographic, you know, effect on this. But this packaging is mega impressive. It is so beautiful. This was for one figure. I think it's also worthwhile to know, I didn't include this as the accessories, but his wings pop off. So you can see they pop into these joints in his back, and they have a really incredible range of motion. So they move open, closed, and then you can sort of like roll them around in the socket so you can get like a high sort of flying look. You can open them. There's like a lot you can do with the wings. So I didn't include that as an accessory, but the wings are also an accessory. So let's take a look at the sculpt on this figure. And this is one of the things that I love about Power Rangers so much. So I feel like what took me so long to get to it was that I felt like it was just too cheesy. I was like, man, it feels so silly. I don't know. I think there's a lot of reasons why people might not be able to get into it, particularly later in life. Like if it missed you in the 90s when it was really coming up, then it's probably going to be difficult for you to pick it up now. But the thing that I love about it, and the fandom really drew me in, and the thing that I love about it is like the unbridled creativity and also the absolutely loyal, I think, callbacks to the original series, the Japanese series that all of these characters came from. So not all of these characters were directly drawn from the original Japanese series, which I think is called, I'm not entirely sure, Kamen Rider. Forgive me, like I said, I'm very new. I think a lot of these characters were original, but there is a lot that was taken directly from that, and it's treated so lovingly that it really is just like kind of inspiring, and all of the characters are so completely and fully drawn. So they're not just like one thing or another. I know that there's a lot of modern criticism about like the colors of the Rangers. We don't need to get into all of that, but truly when you look at every single character, in the series, they're completely fully drawn with complete experiences, and they bring something different to the table, and the monsters do that too. So one of the things that I love most is that every single character has an origin that makes sense and a design that suits that origin, and definitely King Sphinx is one of those. So when we're looking at, we'll just look at him overall, and then we can take a look at the points of articulation, but I think he's just really spectacular in his color. Everything is almost exactly to, it from top to bottom, from head to toe, exactly like the source material that I looked at when I was researching this character, exactly what you would have seen when you were watching the series at the time, or you could watch right now. So let's look at the points of articulation. Obviously with this big headpiece, we've got a little bit of an issue. You're not going to be able to get like a completely full range of motion, but you see that we still do have movement here. I want to talk about the wings because I'm going to take them off. But we can see that we're able to push them back, which is great because if you do any kind of like articulate artwork, any kind of type of photography where you're doing like panels or scenes or anything, you would want to show that his wings can be able to, the ability that his wings have to be able to like send people to another area or another place. So they also move together like this, so you can move them up like this. You can open and close them. So they're really great accessories and additional points of articulation. We're going to take them off now. Then we have these armored shoulders. With those, it always gets a little bit dicey. We can't get the full lift that we would want, but I think you're going to see with the rest of the articulate points, it's not that big a deal, especially since the powers that he used primarily come from his wings and his staff. It's not really necessary for him to be able to go like this. But you know me, if there's a point of articulation present, I want it to work. So I think these could have been a little bit softer. It could literally be because it's two on top of one another. One way or another, I feel like they could have found a way to do that a bit better. He has a fully turning bicep here, a bending elbow, and I think what stands out to me most about this particular Lightning series figure is that every single point of articulation is buttery smooth, you guys. It works so well. Now, this is a wrist that turns or bends side to side. Hands that are open like this, bend front to back, but it's pretty slight, but they all work the way they're supposed to. When we're looking at the ab crunch, it's really, really smooth and easy to use. And we don't get any of that weird negative space that really bugs me. It all works beautifully. It kind of does look like a face on his back without his wings. So maybe you want to keep his wings on. But those work really well. He does not have a turning waist for his tunic. And I will say something that bothers me about his tunic is that it's up in such a way, I know, to accommodate his tail, but like his bottom is straight hanging out. It's super weird. I don't know. It's like a peep show back here. So that kind of bugs me a little bit. And with no turning waist, again, I never feel like there's an excuse for that. So that really bugs me. But look at how like smoothly and easily we get a nice split out of him. It's perfect. It's easy. We use the turn in the thigh and the hip to get that. We have a turn here. I really like that the highlights on, I don't know if you can see it very well, the highlights on his gray skin are teal, which are like a lighter version of this. It's a really neat effect, and it really makes him sort of look ethereal and magical. So he has enormous calves and thighs, and you see the bend that we still get out of this figure. It's stunning. It's perfect. He has this weird knee armor, but it's done like a ball joint, so it sort of, I mean, it works. And his feet are fantastic. He has a 3-toed foot and a really, really articulate three-toed foot that moves any direction you could possibly want it to move, forward, back, and all the way around. So his tail actually is also an articulate point with his little booty sticking out there, but it will go all the way out like this. You can sort of turn it like a crank. I don't know, but it works. That's what really matters. The point of this story on this figure is that he is substantial in size. All of his articulate points work. He's not too heavy. He stands easily. His ankles, feet, you can get a good broad stance. You can bend any of his joints, whatever pose you're trying to get, you can get easily. The facial sculpt is absolutely stunning with detail. And even though he is a bit of a like duochrome character, you know, he really only has two primary like colors that he's showing. So I guess like a trichrome. He's got like his gray fur, and then we're looking at yellow and teal. So that's like pretty, you know, a pretty like simple palette. He still is just so impressive to look at with his glowing red eyes, the little bit of gold and black detail that he's got. I mean, everything about this figure feels so significant. It just feels like they really spent time making it. It feels like they spent a lot of time sculpting it, thinking about the character, giving us the accessories we would want if we're a fan of this character. All of the things that we see with Classified and Lightning series that we keep waiting for with Marvel Legends. But I absolutely love this figure. I can think of a million things to do with him right now. He actually, I can say, makes me want to buy a Red Ranger just so that I can play with him in that way, since he was made to kill the Red Ranger, just to create scenes where that's happening. So he's drawing me further into the fandom, and it's just a really successful figure overall. So I'm excited to hear about what you guys think about this gorgeous figure. I really, really love him. I want to hear from Power Rangers fans. I want to hear from just toy collectors, because really I'm coming at this as a toy collector, although I am getting more and more into Power Rangers as I go. And yeah, I just want to share this with you guys. It's something different. It's something new. I've been promising you guys for a while that I will get into more and different things, and I'm finally doing it. So I really want your feedback, and I want to know what you guys think about King Sphinx, because for me, he's an absolute winner top to bottom. I think he's an excellent figure, and I highly recommend everybody pick him up. All right, so that's that on King Sphinx, my very first ever Power Rangers review. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you're interested in that. Please make sure that you're following all of my social media right now. Finally, my website, annoyingyouwithfriendship.com, is active every single day. At the very least, I will always be posting 5 deals on Amazon, but across my social media, I've been sharing deals from Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Dorkside Toys. Anywhere that I see bargains, especially right now at Christmas time, you guys are gonna see them. I created a TikTok. It's super weird and cringy, but it leads to deals for you guys. So please go check that out. I'm having so much fun creating content for you, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. I'm really loving hearing back from you and getting your suggestions and recommendations. What you like, what you don't. Keep it coming, and I will keep doing what you ask me to. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I think I'm going to be back tomorrow with another one, but we'll see. I had a car crash tonight. Everybody's obviously okay, but I might need to take a day to get all of that stuff sorted out, so we'll see. But if not tomorrow, the next day for sure. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I look forward to doing another one soon. Bye, friends.